Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chord Dave and this is Chord Dave Live number 100. We did it somehow. So yeah, let's do a bit of a celebration. Before I tell you anything else, let's just say happy Saturday. Happy Chord Dave Live number 100 to each and every one of you, whether it's your first or your 100th time joining us on the stream. And yeah, launch it to you, my friends. Yes. All right. So here's the thing. I had lots of plans for tonight's show, and literally none of them are happening. And the reason for that is life. Life happens. And I've been too busy to get anything arranged this week. So maybe next week we'll have some extra special features. I don't know. I'm going to try and get them arranged, but I couldn't get anything arranged this week. So maybe the 101st episode will have a couple of extra things added in. But hey, just another reason to subscribe and come back next week. Thank you all for joining me. Honestly, when I did one live stream, I didn't think anyone would join us. So I was surprised on that night and kind of said then, okay, let's do this every week. And here we are, about 120 weeks later, because there's been a few weeks where we missed. So yeah, it's amazing to me that we've done 100 live streams, that we join up most Saturdays and hang out and chat and have a good time. Most of us have a good time. Most of us know how to have a good time. And we just talk about guitars and music and all kinds of things that pop up. It's been a lot of fun for these 100 shows. It's got me through some tough times, and it's also been a pain in the arse a couple of times. But mostly it's been great fun, and I appreciate every single one of you, whether you've watched half an hour of the show or 10 minutes of the show or every single second of every live stream that we've done. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining me all of these times. So with that speech out of the way, let's dig into the chat. Let's try and get through it and see how it goes. One rule for tonight: don't start fights with anyone, and if anyone starts a fight with you, don't engage. Just ignore them, and that'll be over as quickly as possible. Hopefully we can have a good fun stream and everybody can get through it without breaking that golden rule. Anyways, let's dig in. Scott Bogfoot is here, of course, our one and only moderator. Does a great job and very happy with what he does. So thank you so much, sir, for all you do. Dennis Ellis is here. Great to see you, Dennis. Hope you are doing well. And Corey Hergott's here. Great to see you, Corey. He says, hey gang, congrats on the 100 live shows, Dave. Looking forward to the next 100. Thanks, man. It seems like a long road to get to 200, but hey, I'm sure it'll happen at some stage, unless I sell the channel to Trogley for his guitar museum. Which probably won't happen. Scott Brower's here. Great to see you, Scott. Hope you are doing well, my friend. And Scott Bogfoot says, anyone new here, welcome. You will have to subscribe and wait a minute before you can chat in the best chat on YouTube, and also this one. But yeah, thanks so much for that, Scott. You do have to be subscribed, and you got to be subscribed for at least 1 minute so that you can chat to us. And if it is your first Chord Dave Live, say hello on this special edition. We should print DVDs of this and sell it on the Etsy shop that we don't have. Formerly known as T says, hey Chord Dave, hey guys, good to see you, T. Hope you're doing well, man. Let me see what else we got. Good here. Storm coming tonight. Told we might lose power. Yeah, Scott, take care of yourself out there, man. We are having some shitty rainy weather the last few days, and I've been on the road the last couple of days as well, so it hasn't been great. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? That's living on Earth, apparently. Sylvian says, hey guys, getting my question in early for the Chord Dave legend. Chord legend. David Mundo, thank you, sir. What do you do for a living, and can you show us your full guitar collection? I can't really tell you, like I can't tell you company I work for, or companies I work for, or anything like that. But what I do for a living is I am in the tech business. I'm in the tech industry, and I give out when people do things wrong. and I help folks get back up and running with their stuff, with their tech stuff, related to online business. So I can't tell you any more than that, but that's what I do. That's my day job. And for now, we'll see how it goes. I did see a vlog this week, a YouTuber that I watch regularly now, who's actually not a genre that I watch very often, and they've just gone full-time on YouTube. And I was thinking, as I watched their announcement, that they were going full-time on YouTube, well, that would be super cool. But they have like 80,000 subscribers, like real subscribers. There's lots of channels that have 80, 90, 100,000 who do not. And the best way to tell is if they're getting the same number of views I get on a regular basis. Um, because I got 7,000 and that's the number I should be getting for 7,000. If I had 80,000 and I was getting the same numbers I'm getting now, something would be wrong. Just giving you the facts. But when it comes to that, yeah, I think I would like to be a full time YouTuber someday, but it's not the case. And until then, I'll have to just keep fire shooting everyone's technical issues because they can't figure it out themselves. 9 times out of 10, it's just like they just have set something up wrong, and it's very easy. But yeah, that's what I do. In terms of guitar collection, it's very small at the minute. So I have two Telecasters. I've got the Squire 40th anniversary one. I've got the Harley Benton one, which I haven't touched in a long time. I really should do the jobs I want to do on that one. I have a couple of guitars and cases that haven't come out in a while. What have I got? A Harley Benton Strat. That's the only Strat I have ever had, actually. No, I had another one. I had a Squire one a few years ago. I have my Epiphone SG Special, which I love. It's an amazing guitar. The 2020 version, the Pelham Blue, a faded Pelham Blue, and then my Flying V, my 1982 Flying V, which is my favorite of, well, can I have two favorites? Can my SG and my Flying V be my favorite? The 1982 Flying V was made the day after my birthday, so it has a special connection, and it's just a great guitar. So I would say it's not that interesting, my collection at the minute. Hopefully next year I'll be adding a lot of cool stuff to it. I did say that last year, but life has been weird this year, so not a whole lot of stuff's been added to it. Nothing has been added to it, in fact. All right, well, we'll see. Black Friday's coming up. Formerly known as T says, time of year for the old storms. It is. Storms are getting a bit hefty around here lately anyway. Pain in the neck. But there you go. Sylvan also asks, by the way, do the merch mugs come with your face, or would that need to be a custom order? Um, I don't think we have mugs with my face anymore. Or anymore. I don't think we ever had them. But if that's something you're into, I we can think about it. Um, yeah, I don't think so. But we'll talk more about merch in a little bit, and I'll tell you the latest merch story. There is mugs in that latest release, so we'll dig into that in a bit. And then there's a funny story about merch this week as well. So in trying to get everything set up for this stream for the 100th. So thanks for your questions, sir. Or thanks for your questions, person. Don't want to misgender anybody. That's unusually Marsha does that. That's all. Anne is here. Great to see you, Anne. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Been a while, I think, since we've seen you. So great to see you popping in for our 100 show. Thank you so much. Glenn Bailey is here. Of course, he's here. He's always here. We love him. I think Glenn is immune from getting a timeout now. He hasn't had one in so long, but that's what happens. Corey says, let's all remember to hit those buttons for Dave. Indeed, hit all of them. The like button, dislike button. It's all good. It's all engagement on the channel, so it's all great. But I do appreciate that, Corey. Yeah, everyone hit those buttons. Glenn says, question, Dave, do you remember those Saturday nights before I came into your nightmares? Glenn, you are not in my nightmares, friend. You're in my dreams completely. I do remember having Saturday nights free to go do things. That was great. Someone would say, hey, we're going out Saturday. My folks would say, hey, we're going out at like 4 o'clock on a Saturday evening or afternoon. And I would be like, okay, let's go. Now I have to say, I'm sorry, I'm doing a live stream tonight. So yeah, I remember my free Saturdays. Those were fun. I liked them. Sometimes I'd go to the cinema. Sometimes I'd go to the pub. Sometimes, it was a different life 2 years ago, but here we are. But thanks, Glenn. Listen, you're never in my nightmares. You are all only in my dreams. Which dreams? Well, we won't know. How do we feel about the new colors on the Gibson SG? You guys know I love the SG, right? Like it's one of it. The only reason I like my Flying V is because it's my Flying V. It feels like it was literally made for me. It's a beautiful, beautiful guitar. Plays so nice. Is a beautiful guitar. Has that great top. It's the only reason that is a level with my SG because I love my SG. I think the SG is the best guitar shape design that has ever been made. I love it, and that's just how it is. I love how Les Pauls look. I love how SGs look and feel. So there we go. I don't dig the new colors. So yeah, I was looking through them when they came out, and I had a document with them leaked a few days beforehand, and I was like, these are all kind of shit. If I was to pick one up, I think it'd be the TV yellow, but in the 61. I think the 61 would be the way to go. But I don't think they're great colors, to be honest with you. They look, and I don't mean this disrespectfully because I love Epiphone, but they look like Epiphone colors on Gibson guitars to me, and I'm not super happy with them. But I don't know, maybe like if, yeah, maybe they're going to do more colors next year. Who knows? But I like seeing them do something different, so I got to applaud them for that, even if it's not my cup of tea. They're bringing out new colors for SGs and Les Pauls last month, so applaud for that, Cesar and Co. I think you're doing all right. But I'll be discussing in a video later this week, maybe, or later next week, if Gibson's actually doing a good job since the takeover. I've got some interesting thoughts on that, so look out for that one this week. All we need is for me to get one day off where I don't have to do all the things that I need to do this week. There's a lot of craziness going on in my life right now, and hopefully it'll settle down enough to make some videos. Just want one day, because I got all these backed up ideas that I want to make. Anyways, thanks so much for the question, Glenn, and we love you. Trust me. Now, someone give Glenn a timeout. It's tradition. Jess says happy 100, Dave. Thank you, Jess. Thank you so much. You've been a big part of the show, of course, every Saturday, and brought us some great merch ideas. And one of them I have to talk to you about. Not you personally, but just the gang in general. I guess I should say it because I know you guys are way ahead of me in the chat, so I'll just say it. So I did 2 designs this week for merch, for new merch for the 100th episode. Just general merch lines, nothing relating to this is the 100 show or anything. I think that kind of thing gets outdated very quickly, and it's a big waste of time. Because I'm not like, it's not like going to a concert and seeing like that time you saw Guns N' Roses or AC/DC or something. By the way, AC/DC are rumored to be playing Ireland next year, and if that happens, that'll be flipping cool. But we don't know yet. We don't know, so we've got our ears to the ground on that one. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, the merch. So I did 2 designs, and I generally it's either myself or my brother do the designs. So I did the designs this week, and I uploaded them. And you guys had asked for a Rolling Rock style t-shirt, and I tried my best. I tried my best to do it, and Teespring said that violates copyright, so you can't do it. And then I said, okay, but like it's different. It's like a parody. It should be fine. And they were like, screw you, Chord Dave, you can't do it. So I was like, okay, thanks, I guess. And they were like, yeah, no problem. So I uploaded the other merch lineup that I had designed, and they also cancelled that one. So I appealed that one also, and they were like, no, you can't, because it also is a copyright infringement. However, I got an idea. So I changed the name of the merch collection, and they so far have not removed it. So this might be the shortest run of merch in the history of Chord Dave, and it is this. They said I couldn't use the font because of its association with a well-known video game. I just liked the font and the guitar picture, so I used it. So there you go. It's available in different colors, different items, different price points. You can get something like a sticker, you can get a t-shirt, you can get a really expensive hoodie, which is ridiculous. They're like, and for that money that you spend on that hoodie, I think I get like $4. So there you go. There is a new merch line. It is on Teespring now. If you click the link to Teespring, it should take you to there. If it doesn't, let me know and I will, I don't know, figure something out. But it's the usual link, and you'll see it there. Anyways, that's good. I'm still working on the Rolling Rock one. I'll get it approved at some point. Maybe it can be a Christmas one or something. But we'll keep trying. It might be a different font. I might have to change the font on that one because they seem to be a bit more militant about it. But we're working on it. We're working on it. But for now, we got a Grand Theft Auto styled one. So if you're into Chord Dave or guitars or Grand Theft Auto, buy that t-shirt or the stickers or the cup. Yeah, you can buy a mug with that on it, and it looks kind of cool. So that's that. Anyway, that's the merch talk. Let's move on from there. And again, thanks to Jess for her lovely comment. Scott says the grey one is nice. Always wanted a power finish. It looks rather close. Yeah, I'm still not sold on them, Scott. To be honest, I think there's better ones. There's a titanium finish they did a few years ago, and that looks sweet, but they didn't bring that back. Sorry, it's unfortunately jerks. Yeah, I wonder, does Chez Cesar actually watch the show sometimes and think, what the hell is this guy talking about? But hey, I love you, Cesar. I do. Hope you had a nice game of polo, because that's what you do. Glenn Bailey says, I'm kind of digging the new Jared James Epi for under $1,000. It is a nice guitar. It is. Is it under $1,000? I don't think it is here. I think it's $10.99. But yeah, it's a cool looking guitar. And the fact they've got that new Seymour Duncan P90 in it, very cool indeed. James Severance here says, hey, Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Hello, James. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Thank you for dropping in as you do each and every week to us. Always great to see you pop in the chat at some point. Glenn Bailey says, I had a grey T style. I like grey guitars. Glenn, you can't say that. That is offensive to people. But it's okay. We love you. Scott says, I'd like to see him get a second signature guitar. One pickup LP is getting overdone in my opinion. Cool that he sticks with it, but nice to see him broaden the lineup a little bit. I think his next move after 3 Epiphones is a Gibson, and he's got a couple of nice Gibsons in his collection, so hopefully they look into that next year. I know, I think he's a very cool guitar player. I think he's the nearest thing we have to a guitar icon at the moment in today's new music, because we're still living off our old heroes, right? For the most part, because they're not releasing great new music like they did back in the day in the 60s, 70s, and 80s anymore. So like those same people. So, but they're still releasing stuff. But yeah, I think James. I think he's Jared James Nichols is putting out some of the best blues rock music in a long time. He's putting out some great stuff. So yeah, great to see him doing well. And I do love the guitar. I think it looks really good. Will I try another one after the Gold Glory? I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Who knows what I can get an offer on in the next week or two. Let me see what we got. Matt van Bosch is here, says, hi all. Good to see you, Matt. Hope you're well, my friend. Always great to see you. Thanks for joining us so much. And as I think it always happens when I read Matt van Bosch's first comments, that the comments all dumped in on top of me. So it's probably a trigger for YouTube. It's like, Matt's here. Let's give all the rest of the comments to Dave. Wait a second. Scott says, hey, cute goth. Who did I see? Someone's cousin dropped in the chat. Anyway, never mind. That's a long joke. We haven't really talked about Steel Panther, by the way, in a long time. And as an unofficial Steel Panther fan club, we should really talk about them every week. But they are indeed fantastic. What a great band. Let me see what else we've got coming out here. So I want to make sure that I get through as many comments this week, guys, as we can. Because, I do miss them from time to time. Sometimes I just have to scan through them all and find out who's been fighting at the very end. So hopefully that won't be the case today. Scott Bogfoot says, are Fernandez still around making guitars? I don't know, man, is the answer to that. Maybe. If I'm sure somebody is making guitars under that like brand name. It's somewhere, whether it's the same company or not. But I could be wrong. Grandpa Joe says, hello everybody, wishing you all a happy weekend. I do hope you are all well. Grandpa Joe, it is great to see you in the chat, sir. I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for popping in to say hello to us. D-Mac is here. Great to see you, D-Mac. Hope you are well, my friend. Thanks for joining us. Scott Brower says, I want a silver SG or maybe white, but I like having a car. I mean, if it's a choice, I get you. Yeah, SGs are cool, man. They're such a great guitar. And the great thing is the Epiphone ones are really, really good. Like the one I have that I'm always talking about is the Epiphone SG Special with double P90s. Yeah, I think that's their cheapest SG, and it's phenomenal. It's a really good guitar. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can find Colin from Guitarists, his review of the guitar he did a while ago. He loves it too. One of his favorite guitars of the last few years. So I got something right, I think, in that one. Scott Bogfoot likes it. So, I think that says it all. That trifecta right there. Three YouTubers who will tell you what's good. Ben Allmark says, hello, Dave, and all. Great to see you, Ben. Hope you're good, man. And Robert is here. Good morning to you, Robert, and it's great to see you on your Sunday morning. I'll be talking to my Australian pal on my Sunday morning as we try and arrange stuff for next year. We'll see how that goes. Might be visiting Australia next year, depending on how things go. So I'll keep you up to date with that as plans are made. But yeah, good morning. Say happy 100 live streams. Great job. Thank you, sir. It means a lot. And thank you so much for joining me in so many of those on your Sunday mornings. Richard Clark says, woo ha. Is that woo ha? I don't know. I don't speak English very well. Thanks, Richard. I do appreciate you, sir. Thanks for joining us. As always, great to see you in the chat. Glenn says, a friend messaged me this morning. He broke the input jack on his Strat. I'm going to see if he wants me to fix it. It's a lefty. It really confuses me. I mean, do left-handed people play guitar? Because Gibson don't think they do. So it's actually kind of funny how blind Gibson are sometimes. But yes, you should fix that. Would be a little, just take your time with it, Glenn. You'll be fine. You know what you're doing, sir. Richard Clark says 100 indeed. Thank you, sir. Yes. I'm quite amazed actually that we are at 100. I know last week was 99 and I was just like flippant about it. I was like, whatever, 99 live streams. It's all good. But yeah, all this week I've been thinking about the 100th show, and it's kind of mind blowing. Like a lot of people, and I know lots of YouTubers do it, and they don't count their live streams, so they're just whatever. But yeah, I think there's also a lot who never get to that number, and I think it's worth celebrating. I think it's cool. I mean, I enjoy hanging out with you guys and doing this show like 97% of the time. But yeah, it's super cool, and I'm very happy with it. It's kind of mind-blowing that you guys have actually wanted to come and join me every Saturday, but I thank you. Benny Larson's here. Great to see you, Benny. Hope you're doing well, my friend, in Denmark, right? Yeah, hope Denmark's doing well tonight, sir. Thanks for joining us. Vincent Doyle says, evening all. Are we all on our best behavior tonight? Yes, please. Everyone on their best behavior, Vincent. Good shout. Thank you so much. Ryan Burns says, happy 100, Dave. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. And thanks for being part of most of the shows, as far as I can remember, if not all of them. Yeah, I think you were here in the early days, man. So thank you so much for being here as much as you have. Scott says Elon is not coming on. Elon was busy, so it just he wasn't able to make a gap in his schedule for today. But someday. He is a well-known guitar addict, just like the rest of us. And who wouldn't be, with things like custom colors collections and dead specs and stuff like that coming out. And then anyway, we'll talk to Elon about that someday. He seems to be going on all kinds of shows and podcasts at the minute, so he must have something he wants to promote. Richard Clark says, it's all good, Dave. I'm excited either way. Well, thanks, sir. I'm always excited to see you guys in the chat. It's actually, yeah, it is. It's way amazing. Way amazing. I think I just coined a new phrase. Penny Larson says, yay, Dave, 100 live streams. Well done, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us in so many. Always love getting your opinions and views on stuff. And yeah, love to see you in the chat. Thank you, sir. DMAC says, I'm playing an SG in honor of 100 shows. Thank you, sir. Yes, 100 shows deserves an SG to be played to its finest. Yeah, I love an SG. And honestly, they're just great. SGs. Not all the 100 live streams have been great. I'll hold my hands up and say there's probably like a very strong percentage of, very high percentage of them have been mediocre, which is why I'm surprised you guys keep coming back, but I love you for it. But yeah, the SGs are like 99% perfect. Great guitar. So love Love that indeed. William Forrest is here. Great to see you, man. Says happy 100, Dave. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for helping us celebrate. And let's see what we've got. I'll behave, but the voices in my head are getting out of hand. Glenn, control those voices, sir. And Glenn was also playing his SG in honor. Well, that's great, sir. I appreciate that. Yes, SG. Everybody play their SG. And if you don't have an SG, just pretend. Just air guitar in SG for like 2 minutes. Play like some air guitar solos for us on your air guitar SG. Glenn says, truth is, Dave's day job is stalking Slash. It's not really, I have other interests, but yeah, I just want Slash to tell me the secret. How did you get so good at guitar? Don't tell me practice. I'm not doing that. But yeah. No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure my work doesn't allow me to stalk anyone. It's in my contract. It is actually in my contract. I'm not allowed. Use the personal details of people for my own personal, not gains, but interests or something like that. Because we do find some interesting people's contact details, and let me tell you. But anyway, excuse me for the old coughing there. Thought I was going to choke. Benny says, can you tell them to shut up, Glenn Bailey? The voices in his head. I think maybe that's a good idea. Glenn says, I'm thinking of putting the voices in a timeout. You should, Glenn. Just click the button. Timeout. Money H2O with the super chat, which is traditional at around this time of the live stream, and we do appreciate it, sir. Says tis quite an achievement to suck ass for 100 straight shows. I tip my hat. Congrats, sir. Thanks. I think. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Everyone here loves you except me. But, it's all good. I mean, let's be honest, right? 100 live streams, some of them have sucked ass. Not all of them. Let's be fair. 3 of them were really good. So that's all I'll say about that. Scott Bogfoot says, what's your favorite bridge? ... guitar bridge. You knew we were going to all take the piss out of that, and then you changed it. I'm just thinking about that today, actually. I really want a guitar with a TP6 on it, so maybe that. I don't really have a preference, though. I just think that looks a little cooler. Yeah, not too bothered otherwise. T says, the big 100, you don't look a day over 50, my friend. Thanks, T. Somebody give him a timeout. No, thanks. Yeah, I think. I mean, listen, I was watching the Ireland game today. That's what it'll do to you, is make you feel like you're 100. But anyway, sir, I hope you had more sanity than to watch that garbage. Glenn says, I like a hardtail bridge, not a Floyd or floating bridge fan. Good. I would agree with you. Yeah, and neither am I. So yeah, good job. Tinfoil your house, Ben. I think Ben retracted a comment, so maybe that was related to that. I don't know. But here's a comment from Ben Allmark. It says, Dave, how can we protect our electronics from any possible future EMP attacks? I thought maybe you'd be a good man to ask, being a tech and all. Yeah, actually, tinfoil your house. That might be your best option. I don't know I don't know. Honestly, I can help you with websites and things, and technical issues online or with your business software. Let's just say that. But protecting electronics, yep, I'll be as screwed as anyone else. So, I think tinfoil everything. Tinfoil the house. Why not? Get some shielding of some kind around the house. That'll do it. It's my best guess. Scott says, I'm starting to really like the 6-saddle Telly bridge plate. That one is a fine bridge. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. It's been quite popular. T says, I'm around 10 minutes behind. I'll try to catch up 101 is a Cook number as well, or you could wait for the 111th show. Wow, there you go. When will that be? Will that be before Christmas? No, we've what, 5 before Christmas? All right, because we always take a break. We always, the last 2 years, we've taken a break at Christmas time. So we will, I'll have to plan that out as well, won't I? Damn it. All right, so much going on, guys, that I don't know if I'm going to keep up with everything. As you've noticed, there's been no videos on the channel for 2 weeks. It's like literally that crazy. That's not planned. I'm not taking a break or holiday or anything. I just haven't got time at the minute to do videos. But I have some opinion videos that I want to do. I have some strong opinions, as you guys know. And I'll be making some of those. Including my favorite one I'm working on is, has Gibson improved in the last 4 years since the takeover? Let me know what you think about that, because actually that'll be an interesting thing if you got any ideas yourselves. I think they've improved in some areas. Give you a sneak peek. I think they've improved in some areas and stayed the same in other areas and gone massively down in other areas. And then I think in the last year, areas that had gone up have come back down again. So I'm going to cause some controversy. I think I'm just going to confirm even further that I'll never be sponsored by Gibson. They'll never send me anything to review or to publicize or to whatever. They'll probably get me banned from going to the NAMM show. They'll probably get me banned from going to the Gibson garage. I don't know. Mark Agnesi probably get me banned from wearing leather jackets. I'm scared, but I'm going to do it because I think you guys deserve to know what's going on. Anyways, yeah, it's a big week as well because Greeny's coming out officially. The Epiphone one that we did videos about weeks ago. Benny Larson says you don't have to have favorites. You don't have to have favorites through Chord Dave. They're guitars. We can love them all. Don't worry, they won't get jealous. I don't know. I think that they're like kids, and you like if you have kids, you got to have a favorite. Same as if you got guitars, you got to have a favorite. But I hear you, Benny. I love what you're saying. I just for clarity, I don't have any kids. So yeah, not that I recognize anyway. No, I don't have any kids. Al Adolfson is here. He says, hello gang. Hello Al, hope you're doing well, my friend. Great to see you in the chat, as it always is. Ryan says, anyone tried Guild Polara? Is it? Polara? Played one last week. It was pretty good quality for the money, but sounded great. I have not, but I think Colin has. That is what his video is this week. It's something from Guild anyway, isn't it? Trash Layer says, hi all, I haven't tried the Guild, but they look like a pretty solid axe. They do indeed, Trash Layer. Thanks so much for joining us today, sir, for our 100th show. Anyways, let's dig into Scott's when he says, when was the last time Gibson had a paint revolution? We all know Gibson is scared of change. Paint technology has changed so much over the last few years. Are they open to new paint ideas? Well, don't forget they do that mod collection and demo shop thing on Reverb and on their own website, where they kind of throw up experimental things. See, I said throw up. I didn't mean it in the they just throw up onto guitars, but some of them look like that. Did you see what they did this week? It was terrible. But anyway, people have lost a lot of interest in what they're doing over there, so I think that may have kind of dropped the enthusiasm for doing limited range. But they haven't, you're right, they haven't done anything like special in terms of paint ranges for Les Pauls or SGs or Flying V's or anything really in a long time. But maybe that's coming. They do seem to be kind of obsessed right now with guitars from the Norlin era. And there was some crazy shit in the Northern era. So hopefully they start there and then move into the 90s and the 2000s, where there was some very interesting paint job collections, shall we say. Like, you remember, it wasn't that long ago they did like the Disco Van one. And that was kind of fun. And those are quite a collector's item now. So yeah, something like that might come down the road. But they haven't, this Gibson ownership, they seem to be quite focused on making things like they were in the past, rather than revolutionizing anything or innovating anything. So I don't think for now we're going to expect to see anything too radical from Gibson. I don't think that's where they're headed. Glenn Bailey, sir, with the super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Says, glory holes may come and go, but a t-shirt with a pic of Dave's face on it is forever. There's so much to unpack in that statement. I feel like, Glenn, it's not what those t-shirts are for, and I would not like to know any more details. Thank you. But thank you, sir, for the $4.99 super chat. Super cool of you. And we love you. So thanks for that, Glenn. It's just not going to get that image out of my head now. Anyway, there hasn't been a t-shirt other than the animated thing on the t-shirts. That's the only one with my face on it, isn't it? I think so. I'm not so sure. Rob F says, hello, Dave. Hello, friends. Just got home. Sorry I'm late. Sir, there is no late around here, but thank you so much for joining us once again. We do appreciate seeing you, and thanks for joining us on this 100th show. Ben Allmark says, the shirt looks slick, Dave. Thanks, sir. Thank you, sir. I do like that design myself. I'm not so much a gamer anymore. I used to be, like 20 years ago, but yeah, not so much anymore. Very, very casual gamer now, but Grand Theft Auto design is a classic. So I stole it. Al Adelson said, I like the shirt. Thank you, Al. I hope you are doing well, my friend. Thanks for that nice comment. I appreciate it. Where have we got? Ryan says, Dave, you should get like 5 to 10 shirts and sneak them into the racks at Carol. See if anyone buys one. That would be fun. That would be fun. For anyone who doesn't know, Carol's is a famous Irish souvenir tourist trap where people pay way too much money for things that say like Dublin or Ireland or whatever on them, and are green. Most of the shop is green. That's a great idea, Ryan. April Fool's Day next year. Gotta eventually do an April Fool's video. I've never done one. So I've told you before about ideas I've had, and I think I will still do some of those ideas I've told you about. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. I love it. My friend from Australia, who I talk to every Sunday, he would love that idea, and he would make me do it. So I'm not going to tell him about it tomorrow. Trash Layer says, that shirt is killer. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, I like it. So the guitar's not copyrighted, and the text is just a font. So they can't do nothing. They tried to, but it's not going to hold. So there we go. Where are we now in the chats? Again, they all just dropped in on top of me. So I think we're moving a bit slower tonight. So I'm probably going to catch up at some point by the looks of it. Prove me wrong by all means. Al says, to Rob, your guitar with Dylan looks awesome. I did watch a little bit of Dylan's videos this week with your guitar, and yeah, it does. It looks great. A lot of changes. The tuners are pretty cool. The obviously the pickups, and he didn't change the wiring though, or the pots, right? That's pretty interesting. The bridge was changed. There's a lot of work gone into it. Yeah, it's good. It looks interesting. Excited to know how you feel about it when you finally get it back from him. He's making quite a few videos on it, from what I've seen, 3 or 4 at this point. But yeah, very good stuff, Rob, indeed, with that one. Trash Layer says, happy to be here today with the coolest chat on the interwebs. Well, that is kind of you. Thank you so much. Yes, it's a pretty cool chat. I like it. Glenn says $9.99 in the States for the JJN. Yeah, Epiphone apparently are the ones screwing the prices in Europe, and it's probably something I'll talk about in that Gibson video. Or maybe I'll do a separate Epiphone and Gibson, are they better after 4 years video? And then every other guitar YouTuber will make the same video, but they'll get 1 billion more views, and I'll get angry about it. But the point being, so what I've been told, so 2 separate people who work in guitar retailers, big guitar retailers, have said that Epiphone and Gibson guitars are coming in basically with a higher price to them than they had before. And when they questioned it, they said they were told, apparently 2 people told me, very similar to Gibson think they should get more money from the European sales because the tax is added. I don't know how that works. I don't know why, because obviously in the States, as far as I understand how it works, the the pricing doesn't include taxes. That gets added on top on any shipping or whatever. In Europe, it's usually whatever the price is, that's how much the guitar is sold for. But that includes all your taxes and your shipping and all that sort of stuff. Um, Unless the guitar is under 200 euros, I think it is. In that case, you got to pay shipping. So apparently Gibson found this out and we're like, well, we're going to charge more then, because we can't charge $9.99 in the US and $9.99 in euros, all included. So I don't know. It just feels wrong and like we're getting screwed. But yeah, I think that's just how it is. So an extra $100 or extra €100 numerically in Europe, and it's fine. If you really want something, I do. I mean, look, if that guitar was $9.99 instead of paying $10.99 for it, it would be closer to a must buy for me. I think crossing that €1,000 mark for an Epiphone is just, I don't know. Every time I try to do it, I try to click on the thing and my hand gets shaky and it just won't press the thing. So yeah, if it was $9.99, probably buy it. $10.99, I don't think I'm buying it. So it's a psychological thing, obviously, and everybody's different, has a different opinion on it. Some people will think it's an incredible value at $10.99. I don't. So there you go. And that's fine. We're all allowed different opinions on that. So nobody start fights in the comment section about this. Matt Van Bosch says, a Rolling Rock style shirt would be great in time for Christmas if you can get it past the review process. Thanks, Matt. And I appreciate you saying that. I will definitely get it past the review. It's kind of a point of principle now to get it past them. So, I mean, as I said, the Grand Theft Auto style one, they took that down and I had it back up within half an hour. So hopefully a couple of tweaks. I think if I change the fonts a little bit, it'll be okay. So, yeah, we'll do a limited run for Christmas time, maybe, on that one. That one should be good. Although I will tell you, Chord Dave doesn't really fit in there, in that little box thing. That where Rolling Rock is written. But we'll see how it looks. So basically, 3-chord is going to be smaller than Dave in order to fit, and it's going to look a bit weird. We'll try it. Hopefully it'll come out. I also don't think it's 100% perfect. A little bit more work on it. It should be better. Also, so to do these things, like I go looking for fonts. So I downloaded some fonts. I bought a font and I was like, oh, it says Rolling Rock. That'll do. I looked at it. I was like, yeah, that's the right font. And then, of course, when I started making the thing, I was like, oh, they didn't mean Rolling Rock. They meant Rolling Stone. So now I have a Rolling Stone, like as in the magazine font, that I will probably not use ever. This is good. Thankfully, their fonts are cheap. Richard Virginia's here. Great to see you, Richard. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Says I just now got my internet back. It's nice to be able to join you all. Got my eye on a 61 SG in the new teal color. The new teal color is not the worst. In some lighting, I've thought it's actually the nicest of the new ones. But thanks for joining us, Richard. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for dropping in and chatting with us like you do. And yeah, the 61 SG is the way to go, I think, for sure. Al says Tom Bukovic had a Rolling Rock t-shirt for homeschooling. Yeah, and he probably had to tweak it a little bit until it got approved. Who was it who had one as well? I saw someone else with it. But yeah, Teespring didn't want me to upload it or didn't want me to sell it. It took me a while to figure it out. The reason they gave me was that they don't allow... well, for a Rolling Rock, there's like it's copyright. For the Grand Theft Auto text one, they were like, we don't allow Grand Theft Auto on our platform at all. I was like, all right, I'll just change a couple of things and upload it again, and it's still there. For how long, I don't know, but it'll be fine. Rob says, my Epi Peter Green tribute guitar arrived Wednesday, my first LP, so I'm still getting used to the fretboard. Love the out of phase PAF sound. Oh, very cool, Rob. So you got it back from Dylan. That's very cool. Glad you're loving it. It takes a little while to get used to it in that case, but yeah, it'll be cool. But yeah, it sounded great when Dylan was playing with it, so I'm sure you'll make it sound 10 times better. That's just my personal opinion. I actually watched a live stream Dylan did a few days ago, and I'm just gonna big myself up here a little bit. He did a live stream for like 34 minutes or something like that. I was like, dude, you're finished already? It's like, you haven't even done a quarter of a live stream. What are you doing? Um, but I just said it out loud in my room. There was no one else here. And yeah, so there we go. Interesting stuff from Dylan, though. And he's done a good job on your guitar by the looks of it. So looks very cool. And glad you're loving it. Trash Layer says, I recently discovered the Southern River Band while watching Justin Hawkins. Anyone else get bitten by the rock and roll bug from that one? I haven't seen that particular one, but I'll have to check it out. You're actually like the third person, I think, who has said it to me. So like, you'll dig this. Check it out. I will when I get time. I promise. I just have no time. And today I was like hundreds of miles away and I had to come back for the show. And it was like not expected that I was going to do that. Last minute thing. I had to run, get in the car and just go and then come back. So anyways, good times. Scott says JGN should have a one pickup Futura or Corvus. I don't think you can have a one pickup Corvus, can you? No, I don't. He just looks right with a Les Paul. I can't see him moving too far away from it. It just fits him so well. So there you go. DMAX says, Rob F, congrats on the LP. Saw the video on Dylan's channel. Looks and sounds great. Very cool. Yeah, it does. It's a very pretty Les Paul, let's put it that way. Thank you, DMAC. I've played the LP every spare moment since it arrived Wednesday night. My Strat and Mustang are feeling neglected. Oh, well, that's what they will do for you, especially the old new guitar. Jess says, what's been the highlight of the first 100 lives? Jesus. For me, that's a great question. Well, the fight, obviously. Glenn Bailey accidentally getting a timeout is one of the funniest things that happens. That and his first timeout was actually accidental. Well, in a way, I wanted to give him a timeout, but then remove it. And I couldn't remove it. I couldn't like just activate him again. So I didn't know what I was doing. So I apologize, Glenn, but it was funny when that happened. I don't know. Like for me, one of the most amazing things, and it happens every week, is that I start streaming and you guys are here. And honestly, not to be making too much of it or to be too like, oh, this is great. Not too love-in-ish, but I love coming and hanging out with you guys and seeing people there. My biggest fear was when I started the first one that no one would turn up. And you did. And I went live and people started joining. And I was like, this is weird. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to just talk for 2 hours. And then as we got going, it became more comfortable and easier to do, and it was cool. Like I consider you, like a lot of you guys, my friends. So and the ones who I don't consider my friends, it's only because I don't know you well enough. Not to be like, hey, come and know me. You know, people who are on their first 3 Chord Dave live or who haven't commented. There's people who watch the live stream every week and don't comment, and that's fine. Like if you're enjoying the show, keep joining us. It's cool. But if you feel like saying hello, that's all good. Yeah, basically just for me, the biggest highlight is that you guys keep coming back and talking to me and having fun with me, and you get to just talk about our guitar obsessions and stuff like that, and having a laugh and having a good connection. I mean, there's people here literally from all over the world. We've Robert in Australia, and it's Sunday morning there already, and we've Scott in Newfoundland, and we've like Michael Tweska who's out in California, and not to be giving people's locations away. We got some of the folks like Jess and Matt Van Bosch in the UK. We've got T, who's also in Ireland. Vincent is also in Ireland. Al's been in Brazil when we've been on live streams, and he's at home as well, and all kinds of, like, it's great. We've people to join us from Asia and all over. So to me, I'm looking on the back end of where people are coming in and joining us, and when they leave, and what country they come from, or maybe it's just where their VPN is routing through. I don't know. But it's amazing to me that is the case. It's a great question, Jess. Thank you so much for asking it. I'd love to know what your guys' highlights are. Of course, the number one highlight for those of you, just in case you didn't, just in case you weren't here for it or you forgot about it. The number one highlight was when I spoke for like 10 minutes reading chats and comments and stuff, and my microphone wasn't on. So it's like, I think it was 10 or 15 minutes, and I was just talking and you guys were hearing nothing. Uh, that I will never forget that one. I felt so embarrassed at that one. But it was funny. It was very funny. And that's when I learned to have two windows open at the same time to make sure audio was coming through. So I can't remember how far back that was. It was a long time ago, but it was funny and I loved it. Um, thanks, Jess. Great question. Great question. Um, Sylvian says, Dave, I believe that 100 shows is not only an achievement, but could be considered something of a miracle. And I, for one, salute you, and I'm proud to be part of the Three Chord Army. Thank you so much. That is Sylvian. That's amazing to say. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it does feel like a battle, so army might be the right word there. Uh, you know, like perfectly honest with you, sometimes you just don't feel like doing a live stream, but then when you do it, like I don't. Sometimes I don't feel like doing the live stream. But then when I do it, like instantly I'm in a better place. I feel happier about it. I feel good about it. And it's you guys picking me up off the ground when I'm not feeling great. So yeah, it's been super cool. And thank you so much for that. And it is, I consider it a big achievement, and you are right. It is a bit of a miracle, to be honest. So we'll see. I think the format needs to change. I think there's a few things we could do better. I think there's a lot that we can add into the show that would make it more interesting and fun. So the next year, I'm going to try and introduce that. Let's see how we get on in that. But hopefully, this time next year, we'll be sitting doing like 150th show, and I'll be happy with that. But hang on, wait, how many weeks is that? That gives me about 7 weeks off at some point, I think, from doing it, and I think that's pretty good. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Glenn Bailey says, I'm waiting for the Harley Benton Tom DeLonge knockoffs to come out. I think they're coming out in March. Is that what I heard on those? Like they're coming, I don't think they're coming until next year, but I could be wrong. Harley Benton, I don't really have a contact for, but I did. Somebody told me they'd be out in March, and I can't remember who it was. I would keep an eye on Harley Benton though, because those are definitely, well, unless Fender have stopped them. So, Rob says, sorry, Dave, I don't have an SG yet. Sir, it's absolutely fine. You should, I would put it top of your list, at least to try one, because they're great. But for now, air guitar and SG. Just there you go. Yeah. Al says, have you seen that Clapton's Fool SG auctioned for over $1 million, bought by the owner of the Indianapolis Colts? I didn't actually see that the sale had gone through well, so thanks for letting me know that. But yeah, I was popping up on my feed all the time for like a week, as if I was going to bid on it. Like it literally said bid now. I can't afford that. I think Muddy H2O asked me to buy it at one point. I'm like, my credit is not that good. So I couldn't do it. I was hoping my YouTube money would make it this month, but it's just not gonna. The price to buy that guitar. But it's a fun one. It's great guitar, and a nice piece of history that gentleman has purchased. That person has purchased. Crest Bear 69. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you. It says 100 not out, a fine century. Just strumming my luthier built telly. Sounds great. Way to watch our 100 show. Thank you so much, and thanks for letting us know you're here. Great to see you. Let me see. Muddy H2O apparently applauded himself as well, which is not unusual. Rob F says to Al, my opinion, it's very sad to see the guitar would end up with the Ursay family. We Marylanders have never forgiven the father for stealing the Colts from us. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about that, but he's got like an amazing guitar collection, right? Like he's got some of the biggest, or one of the biggest value-wise, I think. But there you go. Al says, Rob, what was the bridge you used on the LP? Sylvian says, by the way, Dave, have you considered releasing an album? Only every time I'm on a lunch break. Uh, yes, Three Chord Dave sings the blues, or um, yeah, I've thought about it, but to be honest, I'm not a great singer, and I don't think anyone would want to listen to an album of me just playing guitar. I'm not a bad storyteller, so maybe I could write some interesting songs. I've written some songs over the last couple of years for sure, but yeah, I don't think it would be a big it'd be a big success because I'm not a great singer. I could probably be if I practiced singing and trained my voice and you know stuff like that. But and there's always auto tune and all that sort of stuff, which I would 100% use for the sake of mankind. But um, but yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to someday. Maybe I will someday just for the crack. But who knows? 2024. First of January 2024. Get those resolutions out there. Why not? But thank you, Sylvian. That's a great question. I think a lot of us. I think if you're a musician of any kind, good musician, bad musician, I mean, you're not going to think you're a bad musician, but if you're a good musician or an improving musician, a learner, whatever, I think the idea of playing in a band or releasing an album is does or releasing songs comes to you at some point. I definitely thought about it. I've had some forays into recording music and stuff like that in the past, and yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to at some point in my 40s set up a band, so maybe I'll work towards that next year, but I don't know. I got a long way to go to do that without being booed off the stage. But yeah, an album, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. But yeah, so look, I'm rambling about it. I would love to, but I don't think it'll be good. So nobody should ever listen to it if I do put it out. Obviously, a marketing genius. Ricky Compton says, "Hey everyone, great to see you, Ricky. Hope you're doing well, my friend, and thanks for joining us." Rob says to Al, "It's the Graphtec Resomax bridge and tailpiece. I chose the bridge with the Sting Saver Tusk saddle. String Saver, not Sting Saver. Very good, sir. Very good. Yeah, the added parts were cool. Like you picked some really nice parts for sure. Um, that's all I will say to that. Yeah, there's some really interesting stuff." Al says, "Rob F, when anyone mentions the Colts, I still think of Baltimore. Um, the teams move. Is that what happens? That's I didn't know that. So well, did I know that? Is that like it's been in movies or something? I suppose, or The Simpsons or something. So maybe I knew about it lightly, but I didn't know. Yeah, it just seems a bit strange to me because our teams don't move. Some of them should move. Just out of the country. Scott says, "Do any of you use a Floyd that's blocked to become a hardtail just to take advantage of a locking nut system?" No, I told you I'm afraid of Floyd's. So even the locking nut system. Uh, Rob says, "I still think of the Ravens as the Cleveland Browns." I don't know what sport they play. So there you go. Do I? No. Ricky says, "I just picked up a 2022 or 8 VOS and I love it." Very cool. Very cool. Alex was here, retracted his message though, so I hope you pop back in with it, Alex. Rob says, "The whole Floyd concept seems alien to me." Yeah, you're not alone on that, sir. I don't think I could, I don't know. It's not kind of it's not set up for what I play, which is badly. Ricky says, "I think once you learn how to set up a Floyd Rose, you will love it." Lots of people say that. I think they are unaware of how inept I am with certain things. So yes, I'm sure lots of people will be fine once they get used to it. Same with a Bigsby. I haven't got a Bigsby guitar because I'm pretty sure we I would mess it up quite often. Um, just have no confidence in myself with a Bigsby. Richard Clark says, "They didn't tell you you are already banned from the Agnesi garage. Your picture was on the door opposite the people who gave them bad checks." It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if I walked into the Gibson garage in Nashville and somebody came up to me and said, "You have to leave." It would be fun. Also, if I was there with a Three Chord Dave community group of people, it's like 20 of us walk in. I go in first, and then like 20 people, and then they all start freaking out, and they're like, "Oh no, that's that Three Chord Dave fella! Kick him out of the place." Is Vagnesi's there? I think that will happen. I think he doesn't like me. I think Cesar is my best friend though. Um, Cesar watching it this on Monday, and he's like, "No, no, we're not best friends." Um, Al says, Scott, I have regular trims that are blocked. I rest my hand over trim and bridges. That's one way of doing it for sure. Ricky Compton says, so that's whose photo is on the men's bathroom door. It might be. I don't know what Glenn gets around. Glenn travels around a lot. You know, he could be posting that picture everywhere. I hope he's not. Maybe he's like, this is the payback for that time out, Dave, or the second time out, or the third one. But anyway, the second one was really funny, in my opinion. T says, I watched it as well. The Ireland game. Gus Poyet said he would take the manager's job if offered. I mean, I could take it, T, and do a better job than that plank who's in the job at the minute. But thankfully, his time is almost over. But there you go. We'll see after the midweek. Ben says, let's give our man Dave a thumbs up. Why not? Hey, thank you, Ben. Appreciate that, sir. Yeah, I mean, look, 34 likes, 47 folks watching. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. A lot of people don't get that many likes over a stream, so I'm very happy with it. Thank you. You guys always keep the like ratio high, so I appreciate that a lot. That's one of the highlights for me as well. I just got to keep checking my phone now that I'm not being told someone's fighting in the comments. The stream has changed as it did last week. Scott says, ever use a bridge plate ashtray cover, Al? Like for resting your... yeah, I don't know anyone who does that. So I don't know anyone who does that, I should say, just to be clear. What else have we got? That was good number, not cook number. It said cook number, I swear. But I mean, good number. I get you. It's all good. I thought you were using some slang that the kids were down with or something. Because, you know, I don't know what the kids are saying these days. Benny says, Scott, I must admit I don't use my Floyd as much as I used to, but I could only have one guitar. If I could only have one guitar, it would have a Floyd. Wow. All right. Sweet. Interesting. I've never played a guitar with a Floyd really, so not that I remember. It's one of those things I'm like, that's scary. So yeah, I'm called Three Chord Dave for a reason. I like it stock, down the middle, nice and straightforward. That's what I like in guitars. Marcia's here finally. Says, hey, I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I have a covering aid here. Had to show her some stuff. What did I miss? Just everything. Everyone who was here early got $1 million. It's too late though. No, we're glad to have you here, Marcia. Thanks for joining us in the chat yet again, and thanks for being a big part of the community each and every week. Ricky says, yeah, I think you either love them or use them and love them, or you don't. That's a very wise comment. Yeah, for sure. All right, good stuff. Where are we now? First hour has flown by pretty much. And I just need to catch up on the YouTube chat. Where did you go this time, YouTube? I wish it could just be like, go to where you were. That would be good. It doesn't do that. Sorry I'm late. There we go. All right, cool. Glenn says, Slash and Musk stopped in to wish happy 100th. Again, Glenn, I told you this before. That was a secret. You're not supposed to repeat that to anybody. They told you, don't tell anyone I was here. Dave's photo on the men's bathroom door. It's say, if you see this man, report him to security at the Gibson garage. I'm pretty sure something would happen. Actually, if I walked into the Gibson garage, I'd be quite paranoid that they were looking at me and gonna try and kick me out. That'd be funny. That would be funny. Somebody please film it when that happens. Rob F says, when I started to play 2 years ago, I figured the last thing I would need to distract myself with a trem When we lost Jeff Beck, I thought about adding it to my Strat. Still waiting. It's a great thing, yeah, with Jeff Beck to add one, to play a little bit like him. What a great trem user he was. T says, I thought you would like the new modern bursts. They're the most Epiphone looking ones. I'm not, like, for Gibson money, $1,000 less, you have the same guitar and an Epiphone. I'm not really, I don't really like a burst on an Epiphone or on an SG anyway. I like them to be solid colors or transparent. So yeah, not mad on the burst of an SG. He says before, I know, making 1,000 bursts himself. Yeah, I think SGs still have some way to go in terms of what you can do with them. You can paint them all kinds of cool colors and stuff like that, but the burst I just don't think works on an SG as well as it does on a Les Paul. I don't know, just personally, just not a big fan of it. Ricky Compton says, hurry up on that point there, Dave. It's got to last me the whole show, sir. But I promise you, we'll get there. Ricky Compton says, yeah, Rob F. Jeff Beck was the master of the Stratocaster. No complaints there. Yeah, absolutely. Glenn Bailey says, I saw a recent video from Anderton's and I saw a pic of Dave on the wall saying, you see this man, don't engage, just call security. I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure Andertons are fine with me, because I've mentioned previously that I've purchased things from them and they were quite good customer service wise. I bought my lovely SG and my not so lovely Code 25 from them. So yeah, I think they probably will let me into their store as long as I have money in my hand. I think that's the deal with Andertons. Daniel Tilleroo's here. Great to see you, Daniel. Thanks so much for joining us. Says, let's go. Let's go indeed. Wayne McConnell's here. Great to see you, Wayne. Says, greetings from Canada, all you fine people. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Greetings to Canada. Love seeing all our Canadian pals on a Saturday, and thanks for joining us. Hope you're well. What else? Glenn says, Gibson Tour Anderson's messed that up. The Andersons, those videos are too long for me. I just can't sit down and watch them. I haven't yet. I don't know. I will eventually, I think, watch them, see what they're being shown. And I also know that they were showing stuff that they haven't got in their video, because I was told. They were showing stuff from the future that they'll be releasing. Like, so you probably see Anderton's videos from the Gibson factory when new stuff comes out in the next maybe 5 or 6 weeks. I know, not 5 or 6 weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. What date is it? Like 2 or 3 weeks. There we go. Steve Cassidy Guitars here. Great to see you, sir. Says, after 100 live streams, Dave, any advice for someone thinking about attempting their first? Actually, great question, Steve. Yeah. The first thing is, I would say, is if you're considering doing it, do it. It's the one thing that will hold you back is doubt and anxiety and fear, stuff like that. I think just go for it, man. You gotta put yourself out there and see. Like, as I said, I didn't think anyone would turn up for my first one, and I think we had maybe 20 or 30 people, which is amazing to me. Publicize it a few times. Do a run of videos, like a couple. How long did? Maybe I did a month build up to it. 4 weeks. Like saying, hey, I'm going live on this date at this time. If you want to join me, it'll be cool. It'll be 3 Chord Dave Live, because I didn't come up with a real name, just 3 Chord Dave Live. So yeah, set a date. Let all of your audience know. Because here's the thing, right? If you have, I don't know what your current subscriber rate is. I'm just basing this off theory. If you have 300 subscribers and you want to do some live streams, just bear in mind, every time you put out a video, even if you get 300 views and you have 300 subscribers, not all of those views are from subscribers. So mention it 3 or 4 times, or 5 or 6 times. Mention it as often as you can beforehand. Give yourself 3 or 4 weeks to prep for it. The only prep you need to do is just have yourself ready to go. Make sure your equipment will work for a live stream. And yeah, just go for it, man. It's scary. I'll be honest with you. It is scary, that first one. And that second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. 97th one, 98th one, and the 99th one. They're all scary. So just keep at it. And yeah, the best advice I can say is just don't like wake up tomorrow and be like, I'm going to go live streaming. Wake up and say, I'm going to tell people when my live stream is and let people know. A lot of people as well. I mean, I don't know if I think this is more advice for later on when you do it. I got a lot of people coming to the stream when I was giving guitars away, and they stuck around because they like beards. So yeah, that's what I would say. At some point, do it like maybe for a celebration of a certain subscriber number that you want to set. But for live streams, getting started, the best thing to do, man, just tell your audience 3-4 weeks beforehand, set an exact time and date, and do it at that time and date. You'll get people joining in, and just have a good time with it. Try and be like early on, I used to have a question of the week, and I used to have like stories by my side where I could read them out and give my thoughts, just if there was like one person watching or something. But I think once you go live, like people will join just to see what you're doing. So yeah, just do it. Don't hold back, and let us know when you're doing it. Like let us know here, and we'll pop in and check you out, man. Yeah, for sure. So let's see. Daniel says, what do you expect from Gibson? Lots of things. I have high expectations of Gibson, and the reason I have high expectations from Gibson is because they market themselves as the best. Their slogan for many years was only a Gibson is good enough, and that's not true. It's not true. They have to make it true if that's going to be their slogan. It's like Carlsberg. Carlsberg have a very catchy title, probably the best lager in the world, or the best beer in the world, or whatever it is. And they kind of joke around with that now. But for many years, before I was an alcohol drinker, which was basically until I was like 15, I did assume Carlsberg was the best beer that you could get. And then, like most Irish people, I just started drinking Heineken, because that's what we do. And then, but yeah, then I actually ended up. There was a time when I was like, okay, Carlsberg is better. I'm gonna go there. I don't drink Carlsberg now, or Heineken, or anything like that. So San Miguel all the way. Although this is the last bottle, I think, so probably won't be San Miguel in glass next week. Why am I talking about Carlsberg? Expectations for Gibson. Yeah, if you're going to use only a Gibson is good enough, then you better be good enough. And I don't think they're at that level. I think they make a lot of mistakes. I'm giving away my video next week. Yeah, I think they have a long way to go in terms of connecting with their real audience. They're doing a lot of good stuff. Don't get me wrong, doing a lot of good stuff in that regard. Their artist work is fantastic. Like the things that they do to bring artist guitars and artist collections and stuff. I like that. I know signature guitar is not everyone's cup of tea, but they're bringing stuff that people want. Like people were screaming for a Dave Grohl Epiphone for years, and now it's coming. And people were, well, not screaming, I don't think, for a greenie. And the Epiphone one, I think, is a bit controversial, but it's coming. And there's so many things that I think they're just pushing too much. Like a $50,000 guitar because you get an experience with it. Give me a break. Like, really? And then the exact same guitar is being sold for like 20,000. How much is the experience worth? Or maybe it was 30,000. I can't remember. But it's very similar, like Murphy Lab custom shop deal. You don't really like their some of the things they do that way. In terms of what I expect from them, I expect Gibson to be the best, and I think they're a little bit off the pace. So that's what my video is going to be about, and I'll go into it in more detail when we do that next week. And look, people will disagree with me on that video for sure, and I think some people will also agree with me. So, but that's totally fine. We can have those discussions and see what you guys think. It's my opinion that they're doing great in some areas and they're doing terrible in other areas, and they've taken their eye off the ball in some areas. And I just don't think we need a $200 Gibson scarf or bandana or wallet. But that's just my opinion. Of course, we'll go into that. Yes, they're going to hate me, I know. DMAX says certain models of Gibsons and Epis are on sale again in Canada. Very interesting. Yeah, I think there's going to be some popping out in places all over that have been pulled from sale recently in the last 6 months or so, for the whole Black Friday thing. So we'll see if that is the case. But I've heard that some models were kind of just removed from sale so they could be put back on for the holiday season. So hopefully that is true, because there's some cool ones that might be tempting. Al says taxes in the States have different values, aren't the VATs in Europe nationally based? Yes. So I pay 21% VAT when I buy a guitar anywhere. So it doesn't matter. But that comes but Thomann advertised the price to me in euros with Irish VAT calculated. If I change my location, they'll show me, like, say if I'm in France, I'll get the French price, full price, with all their French taxes included, and so on and so forth. So it's very, like, what you see, the price you see is the price you pay. But apparently that wasn't good enough for Gibson, and they're so okay. For argument's sake, let's say they're selling a guitar for $500 to a retailer. Well, they're saying, well, Europe, your taxes are different, so we're going to charge you $600 for that guitar. And it's like, well, that's just going to get passed on to the consumer. So, and it's worse in the case of certain guitars. Like, it's not $100 difference every time. Sometimes it's a $200 or $300 difference, and it's like, why? That makes no sense. And crossing a psychological barrier like $1,000 is a silly thing to do. But you're right, it is based nationally. So yeah, Ireland. Anyone in Ireland goes to Thomann, they pay Irish VAT, and it'll show Irish VAT built into all the prices. And yeah, everyone else, same thing. And I think if you guys in the States were to go to Thomann, as soon as you put in your address, it just takes all the tax off, as far as I'm aware. It's been an interesting experiment. Get Thomann to send something to America and get it sent back to me. Who knows? Sylvian says, hello Dave, I feel as if I've known you my whole life, and I look forward to truly knowing the real you in the years to come. How much are mugs? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, hope to get to know all you guys a lot over the next few years. How much are mugs? That is a great question, which I should know the answer to. I don't set the pricing on these, you see, that's why. Let me see, where is the listings? Oh no, yeah, view store. Just a second, guys. I will be back once I have a pricing. Mugs are, I think they're somewhere around the $20 mark or something like that. Drinkware, there we go, mugs. The mugs are €18.98, and actually I'll show you the mug because it's, oh, I thought it was different. Oh, there's two different collections. So when you go onto the website, yeah, you'll get an option for two different options. But this is one of them. Where's the image thing? There it is. Yep, that'll do. Browse the computer. There, nope, that one. And there we go. So it's the closest I could get to Pelham Blue on a mug. so there you go. That's €18.98. As you can tell, the pricing has been reduced as much as possible to make Teespring more money than I make on it. So so there you go. So, but there is another version where the mug is black and the text is all white. But I don't have that link open at the minute. So actually, can I get it? Where's the... Maybe I can find it. Nope. Yeah, it should be super easy for me. But anyway, there's all sorts of other stuff on the Teespring store you can check out there. But there's all those designs have been added now. So all right, let's see where else we are. Thank you for that, Daniel. Sorry, not Daniel, Sylvian. Thank you for that. Daniel was the next comment, who said, I don't like Amazon, but they do sell better guitars for a lower price. I haven't seen a lot of... I think you guys might get a better Amazon guitar selection than I get because I go to Amazon.co.uk. That's where they ship most of their stuff to Ireland, and I don't read French, so I mean a little bit, but not much. So the thing there is that the selection in the Amazon.co.uk tends not to be that great. But I've checked out Amazon.com, the US version or Canada version as well, and there seems to be a lot more choice, a lot of better stuff there. So yeah, jealous. That's all I am. Ricky says, yeah, I'm old school too, Rob. I'll be 60 next month on the 27th. Man, music has changed over the years. Sir, it sure has. That's all I'm going to say. T says, was it Tomorrow's World did the April Fool's Day with the spaghetti tree? Yes, I think they did the spaghetti tree. That was funny. Looking back, it was way, way back. Like, what was it, in the 60s or 70s? But that was a funny one. Let me see. Each state has a different percentage odds. I know it messes me up. I never know how. When I go to a store, first couple of days and I'm in the States, when I travel there, it always confuses the heck out of me. It's like, but it says, so if somebody is in a store in Ireland and the price on the shelf says $20, €20, and they go up and the dude says, that's €40. You're like, no, it says it on the shelf. You got to give it to me for that price. Everybody who's ever worked retail has had that conversation with customer. At times, and it becomes messy. Most of them will just then give you whatever the price on the shelf is. So anyway, that's the thing. When I'm in the States and they're like, no, that's like whatever you got now. I've added it up. I'm like, okay, that should be 20. And they're like, it's 29 something or 25 something, whatever it is. I'm like, but I added it up and that's not the number I got. It confuses the hell out of me until I remember I got to add the tax. So there you go. Let me see. Rob says, for me, the big 6-0 was January. Happy early birthday. Happy birthday indeed for you guys. Very cool. Next month for Ricky Compton. And Rob then in January. So happy birthday, guys. And make sure you remind us of your birthdays. Scott says, did Gibson ever do a German carve solid body guitar? That's a great question. Scott, I think we'll probably find the answer to be yes, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it was called. The model that they did. What was it? I can't remember. I'll think about it. Jess says, Dave, you think you need to run this Rolling Rock t-shirt via your merch manager, please? I'm excited to see it. No problem, Jess. I will do my best. Send me an email so I can send it to you. And I'll show you what we've got so far. Email, of course, guys, is in the description of all the videos. And you can send me guitar-related news and stuff if you choose. Lots of you do that, which is great. And I have my network of spies out there in the world who send me stuff as well. And again, a lot of them are actually viewers who watch the channel and they just don't comment very often. And they know who they are, and I love them very much. They send me some great stuff, and they always make sure that I'm on top of things, which is cool. Yeah, and I got some very nice people who do that, who keep me up to date. But if you see anything, or you're in a guitar store and you see something you think shouldn't be there, let me know about it, and we'll pop up a video about it as soon as we can. Just for the crack. Daniel says, Baby Blue is a great guitar channel. I haven't seen that one. I don't think that. I probably would watch it and be like, oh, this guy. But yeah, that sounds like one to check out. Formerly known as T says, think Martin CEO 10 is $9,000, $11,600 in Thoman. Yep. It's just the way it is, man. Because, I mean, the exchange rate is not that bad. And in fact, it's more euros to the dollar. Right? So, yeah. So if you have 10 euros, you get like 9 something dollars. So the exchange rate doesn't quite work for changing the prices that way. Anyway, it's a whole tax thing that's way above my pay grade. I don't really know the full story. And I don't know if that story I've heard is true about Gibson adding extra prices extra to the prices because of tax reasons. If it is true, it's a shitty move. If it's not true, then it's a vicious rumor going around in the guitar world, because a couple of people said it to me. Both of them connected to a retailer, different retailers, and both of them fairly reliable on what they say. Although one of them was massively wrong this year with one thing, but we let him away with it. Ricky Compton says, man, I'm loving the neck on my new Gibson R8 VOS AAA Flame. Love that fat neck. Very cool, sir. Very, very cool. Yeah, glad you're enjoying it. I love when people buy a guitar, especially if it's like a dream guitar or something that they've wanted for a long time and it turns out to be as good as they wanted it to be. That is one of the best things that can happen in this guitar space of ours. Glenn says, I would like to travel to Japan and visit some of their guitar stores. They seem to have some really nice stuff, and Fender Japan seems to have some nice model we don't see in the US. Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much every guitar company, I think, most of the big ones will do Japan exclusives, and sometimes they're really cool. So yeah, there's a lot of very good guitars, very cool guitars have made their way out to Japan as well. Their guitar stores are fucking nuts from what I've seen online, but great, like good nuts. So yeah, Japan's one of the places I want to go to. I've read a lot of Murakami. If you guys have ever read Murakami, you'll know. All his books are set in Japan, very cool stuff. And I know they just always make me want to go to Japan. So, but it's always been a place, like when I was younger and I was a little bit obsessed with video games, I wanted to go to Japan because that's where they make them. So it's kind of crazy with that. I just find Tokyo would be a very fascinating city. And now that I'm into guitars and things, I'm kind of obsessed with them. I want to go to check out the guitar exclusives. Fender, of course, we did a video earlier this year where we mentioned that Fender are going to build, or maybe they've opened it, I'm not sure, but they're doing like a Fender garage type of thing, which will probably be way classier and cooler than the Gibson garage. I haven't been to the Gibson garage, so I shouldn't say that, but it'll probably be very cool what they do. Tokyo's on the holiday list at some point for sure. You can come with us, Glenn. It'll be fine. Ricky says, I finally get the big neck thing. You really do give something to hang on to when digging in and bending. Sir, it's one of those where some people like them, some people like them but prefer slimmer necks, like me. Yeah, I'm a slim taper profile guy. That's what I like, because that's what my SG has, and it's beautiful. Then it says, Glenn, I don't think Japan wants any more American tourists. Of course it does. Yeah, lots of and Irish ones too, I hope. Richard Clark says, just bought a very faded Sonic Blue Strat, the ultimate baby blue. Very interesting, Richard. That I'm sure will be very cool. Rob says, Dylan does a Tuesday afternoon live stream / podcast that lasts an hour. Thursday nights, he and his wife Leslie do a 2-hour stream. First hour is guitar stuff, and second hour is a general chat. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't watch his channel a lot. So I know I was watching his live stream and it just ended. It was like, I was like, you're on for like 30 minutes. I think it was Tuesday. And he was like, well, all right, see ya. It's like, what? Just took me by surprise. That's all. But yeah, as I said, like, I don't really watch his channel a lot. But I did catch his videos with your guitar, Rob. So I'm glad he did a good job with that for you. Mark says, Glenn will never let Dave forget that band too. Milk it, Glenn. Dude, it's part of Chord Dave live history at this point. Scott says, would you say Fender has a better sense of humor than Gibson, as in doing funny mashup models, not being too serious? I don't know. I mean, historically, I mean, the 90s onwards, maybe 80s. I mean, there have been some funny Gibson and Epiphone models, like the Airstream one. I can't remember the actual title of that, or what that was called. The Airstream thing. That was an Epiphone, right? There's a few funny ones that they've done down the years. I don't know. I think I think Fender are more focused on, not always, but I think they have a lot focused towards the um, budget conscious guitar player. Even people can pick up great Fender branded signature guitars, even if they're made in Mexico, guitars that are within a lot of people's price ranges. Whereas if you're a Gibson artist fan and you want to buy their guitars, you have two choices. You can pay a lot of money for their Gibson, or you can pay what is still a lot of money for their Epiphone version now. Um, so yeah, like I don't know, like I like a lot of what Fender is doing, and I think Gibson should look at them a lot and see can we copy them. But Gibson's uh, approach or opinion right now seems to be we're Gibson, we're the best, and that's how it is. We've always been the best. We've got the best like history, best guitars, and we're the best. It's like you're not backing it up, but all right. Keep saying it. But I'm sure they have the right people to get back to being the best guitar company. I think they just may be focused in some areas slightly more than they should be. Um, so now I don't have to make that video because that's pretty much all the points I'm going to make. No, I'm just kidding. I got some other stuff. But yeah, I think Gibson should copy Fender a little bit. I think that'd be a smart move. Um, Glenn says, Daniel, it's okay. I'm not a tourist. I'm a stranger with money. All right, Glenn. Glad to know. I'll see you at Japan Airport. Presume that's what it's called, Japan Airport. It says, Old Man Paul is the only one that has a sense of humor. Um, hey, I think Cesar has a sense of humor. It's just not the same as ours. Um, Glenn Bailey says, I had to spend a week in therapy after that timeout. Yeah, it was fine. You were de-timed out at some point. Um, I was worried about it. Actually, well, I don't know what you guys won't know is that I messaged Glenn right after that show and was like, I'm so sorry um, for giving you the timeout, but it was kind of funny. And he was like, yeah, it was. So I was forgiven by Glenn at that point for everything that I ever do in the future. I believe so. So thanks, Glenn. I appreciate that, sir. Very kind of you. Richard Clark says, I'm a stranger with money, even when I don't go anywhere. Interesting. We're all now going to be claimed to be strangers with money. Are you thinking about an SG335, Scott Bogfoot? He may be. He may be. That's a good shout, Benny. Rob F says, I remember my first live stream. The algorithm suggested I check it out, and I did. Within minutes, you commented that YouTube wasn't bringing you new viewers. Very ironic. Yeah, irony of that, Rob, is delicious. Yeah, it's you know what? It's so weird because this year has been a pretty rough one on the YouTube channel in a lot of ways. I lost a lot of subscribers at one point. And I don't know what was happening with it. I reached out to YouTube at one point. I was complaining to them. I was like, where are my subscribers? Why are you removing subscribers? And at the same time, a lot of other YouTubers were saying the same thing was happening. Like they were losing subscribers or they were um, not getting the push normally that they would get, say, when they put a video out. Videos were performing less well. And I will say to this day, I still believe YouTube updated something and it messed up a lot of channels getting any views, getting new people watching their channel. But I think they did finally start to reverse it. And slowly, those things have gone back up. I don't look at my subscriber count too often anymore because I know roughly where it is and I'm not obsessed with it like some people are. I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I have 7,000 subscribers. I'll pay to get 10,000. And there are people who do that. And I'm not going to name anyone. Just people who pay to get 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers. But then you just look at their channel and you're like, dude, you're getting 2,000 views on a video or 1,400 views on a video and you've got 100,000 subscribers. That's ridiculous. The average, they say, you should be getting somewhere around 10% of your subscribers number per video as views. But yeah, Rob, you're right. Like there was a time when I was actually very down about it and I was gonna be like I was very close to just shutting down the channel at one point this year because I was putting time and effort and work into it and I wasn't getting a whole lot back. Like there was a time as well where I did no there are 2 months this year I got no payout from YouTube because I hadn't made 70 euros in ad revenue or super chats or whatever throughout the month. And like those months, I was like, I've put a lot of time into these videos, whether it was 1 or 2 videos or 6 videos I put out in the month. Like a lot of time had gone into those videos particularly, and it felt a little bit rough. But then the live streams were always the saving grace. People were always showing up for the live streams. So, and yeah, I don't know. The live streams seem to do a lot better than the videos at some points. But I appreciate what you're saying, Rob. Sometimes as well when you're on the inside and you're looking out and you're saying, "Hey, this isn't going so well." Other people are looking in and going, "That's doing great." So I appreciate you sticking around after that live stream, Rob, and sticking with us. Just for an update on that, things are going quite well at the moment, from what I can tell. I do see new people in the comment sections every time. I do see new people popping into the live streams every week, pretty much, and yeah, I'm quite happy with where it's going, the way it's going at the minute. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for becoming a part of the community as you have, Rob. Great to see you on all the videos and live streams. Scott says, you don't see it too much from Gibson. The SGV was awesome though. Was it? Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if I'd ever want one, even though I love both of those guitar shapes. Al says, Dylan has a strong personality with strong opinions. You don't have to agree with him, but you shouldn't listen if you're easily offended. I've never been offended by what he says. Yeah, I mean, there are things I disagree with him about, and one of the things I disagree with him about, I will say very roughly and not give too many details about, is early on in his channel, he was making videos about a particular guitar brand and so forth, and then all of a sudden he jumped on a bandwagon of, I won't support this brand anymore. And I thought it was a bit out of line, considering what he was saying about the brand was negative for no reason. And I'm not, so look, he's very much entitled to his opinion, and I'm very much okay with that. I didn't like it, and another quite large guitar channel did the same thing, and I backed away from watching them at the same time. So yeah, I think, but that's just, again, it's just personal opinions, and look, the guitar space is massive. There's people who make guitar videos who I think are fantastic, and they just don't get the numbers that a lot of the other channels get. They don't get what I get, and I feel that's unfortunate. And there's a lot of folks who disagree with me, and that's absolutely fine. Sometimes I do talk a lot of rubbish, but someone like Dylan, like, I honestly don't want to have a go at him or be saying negative things about him. I do disagree with him on a few things, and that's why I don't watch his channel. But he seems like, for example, with Rob's guitar, he seems to have done a great job, and that's brilliant. And because I don't watch his channels, I can't really say anything about his personality, because I don't know, because I watch him too much. But yeah, listen, there's enough space for everybody to have a different opinion in this space here on YouTube and the guitar space, and I wish him all the best of luck. I really do. I really do. I'll watch an odd video here and there, just to see how he's doing, or what he's doing, or if there's anything I can maybe make an alternative opinion to. Glenn says, will a top hat make an appearance tonight? No, very unlikely, Glenn. It's not in this room at the minute. Neither of them are in the room at this minute. Let me see. How dumb would an LPV be? Very dumb, Scott. I don't even know how you'd need to show me what design you're going for there, as to how that would work. I can't see it. Daniel says, how many subs is needed for free gear? So it's a combination of things, apparently. 10,000 subs is where people will start accepting you for sponsorships, apparently. Up to that, you're kind of trying to play with affiliate links and stuff like that, and I haven't had the greatest luck with them, so I don't really bother doing that anymore. But yeah, you have to have a minimum of like 10,000 to get sponsorships. That can be gear or paying you to mention a product or whatever. But you have to have 10,000 views plus X amount of views on their last, I think it's 12 videos. So you can't have 10,000 views and five or 10,000 subs and 500 views per video. They want to see something like, I can't remember what it was now. Like maybe it's 60%. So you've got 10,000, you got to get 6,000 views on like the 10 videos in the last, I don't know, your last 10 videos, say. So, so yeah, it's a bit of a complicated one. And then they don't just come to you when you get 10,000. You got to go looking for them and, prove that you're worthy of the sponsorship and stuff like that. But there's also small brands that offer you stuff all the time. Like, I don't know, there was one a couple of years ago and they offered me some guitar accessories to trial. They're like, you can have them for free and just do a review of them. It'll be totally fine. So I was like, okay, it sounds like a good deal. You're not asking for approval or me to give you good reviews. You're just saying review them. And if they're good, that's great. But then they wouldn't send them to Ireland. They were like, no, we thought you were in America. So as I wasn't in America, that deal fell through. We had an interesting one. Was it last year? Or the year before, with guitartricks.com, where I signed up as an affiliate for them and it was pushing them for a few weeks, and people were signing up. It was a free trial, but they cancelled my account and denied paying me. I think it was like 400 or something dollars that they owed me. And anyway, made a video. You guys jumped in and were like hassling them on Twitter and everything. And then they eventually reinstated my account. The CEO reached out to me. They paid me what they owed me. And they were like, sorry about that. Just some people take advantage of our system. And that was fine. And I don't know who did it. And I love you, whoever you were. Somebody in the last month or so has signed up with my affiliate link for Guitar Tricks, which I don't ever check because I don't assume anyone will ever use it. And I got I got paid $25 this month from them. So there you go. Sometimes things just work out, and that $25 is going to buy me some sandwiches. Um, but yeah, the free gear stuff. That's what the goal of the channel is. It was go to NAM, get free gear. So get free gear and channel completed. Uh, although maybe I should set it for Gibson to give me free gear, because that is a challenge right now. That would be an achievement. Larry DeFox says, I'm late again. It's always great to see you, Larry. Thanks for dropping in to see us on the show. Marge says, Glenn, the top hat will make an appearance along with a certain hole and a certain geek. I don't know who the geek is, but also we're not showing those things on this channel. Glenn says, Geek Hole and the Top Hats performing live at the 101st. I know. Al says, Clapton's Fool's guitar would clash with your beard. All guitars clash with my beard, to be honest, at the minute. It's getting a little bit out of hand. So we'll have to either become Billy Joe Armstrong in terms of how low I wear the guitar, or reshape the beard at some point. I have threatened several times to shave it, and that may happen. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see. Maybe not. Because lately I've been getting a lot of compliments about it, so I might keep it. Just till the new year and then reassess. Matt Van Bosch says, Thomann are going to sell so many of those Tom DeLonge copies. Great spec and fun looking guitars. They are. Like, I think a lot of people will jump on them. And I don't know if they're going to get away with it, though. They're too close. Like their Keith Richards thing is like, they can't do anything about the Keith Richards because it's basically a telly. So, there's not much that they can do. But that one was a fun guitar that they brought out a while ago. I hope they bring them out and they're super affordable. I mean, it's a Harley Benton. It's not going to be that expensive. But yeah, I think those will be very cool for people who want them. I don't think I'll be after them, but I know a lot of people who will. Daniel says, credit is stupid. Couldn't buy a used car. They would give me credit for a $45,000 truck. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Very crazy. Scott Bogfoot, Dean has made a LP Explorer style. They have. I've done a guitar wish list about that. Did that one? I've had some problems with guitar wish lists on Patreon. They wouldn't upload. So the last 2 or 3 I've done. But the Dean one was one of those that I did. And it's the Cadillac. That's right. It's a very cool guitar. I like it a lot. Definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it. And yeah, by the way, just I should give it a plug in every episode. So we do have Patreon. You can join up with the link in the description of all the videos. I think it starts at like $3 or something, and you can get all the videos that I do publish. You get them at least 24 hours early. There's also some exclusive content over there, and there will be more eventually. And there's already right now there's some guitar wish lists and stuff over there that if you liked that show when I did it, you'll find more of it over there. Definitely long overdue, some new stuff, so that will come soon. Hopefully by the end of the month, a few more videos will pop up there that are exclusive. So check it out. There's a few different levels and stuff like that, and you can message me quicker over there too. Scott Bogwood says, I want to see a Made in Mexico aged Rory Gallagher Strat. You may get that at some point. Rumor is that they may be looking at doing one, so hopefully, or it could all just be bullshit. Who knows? What's going on here? Oh, I thought that was someone saying something's going on again. It's not. Cadillac is cool. It is very cool. Glenn says, I'm not a bad musician. I can play anything and have it sound like shit, especially the guitar. I'm sure that's not true, Glenn. I'm sure you sound awesome. Ryan says, I like the Dean Cadillac personally. The headstock makes it work. I have a Dean Mustaine Zero. I might spend next year looking for a decent Michael Schenker V. Interesting. That'd be a nice addition to the collection. Mustard says, Bigsby bridges are such a PITA to set up. Pain in the restring. I mean, that's why I don't have a guitar with one on it. Mustard for sure. But thanks for joining us, and that is a great opinion because it's the same opinion I have. Let me see what else we've got. Ryan says, Rory Made in Mexico would be cool to see. It would probably look best if they didn't try doing any paint spots and just left raw wood. That would be, yeah. I mean, hey, who knows how they're going to do it, but I think they are going to do it next year at some point. Maybe we'll even see the long rumors often talked about John Frusciante Made in Mexico. It was supposed to be ready to go early this year, and I don't know why it hasn't come out yet. It hasn't come out yet, has it? But I think it's like going to be one of those ones like the Mike McCready, where it's going to be expensive, but it's going to be good. T says, there was a video up today on Gilmore's guitar collection he sold for charity. 21 million went to his charity organization, but think that all happened in 2019. Yeah, I didn't buy all those guitars, I promise. Rob says, I've had all of my guitars set up when purchased. They all stay in tune, sometime for days, even the new Les Paul. So I'm not sure why I would need a locking bridge, or nut. I mean, I've never had either of those things, so I don't know how to answer that, to be honest. I'm sure Scott Bogwood sounds like the man to answer that question. Mississippi Blues says, evening, Dave and all, my first time here. I look forward to many more. Thanks for joining us, Mississippi Blues. Thanks for joining us. You are on our 100th show. It was your first show, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, welcome, and thanks for joining us. The spring spoiler works great for taking the hassle out. Unfortunately, they're like $100. That's in relation to the Bigsby, I think you're talking about there. All right, more comments. What have we got? We've got like 9 minutes, and then we're gonna be out of here. And I don't know how far I'm behind, so I will start running through the chats, guys, just to make sure I get to the end. And if you want to pop a quick tag in the comments and like @Chord Dave at the start, then I will do my best to read it out by the end of the show. And of course, super chats pop up first. Hang on, do they? That page isn't open, is it? That's not that page. That's not that page. They do now. They pop up. So I think I didn't miss any. Good stuff. So if you do want to do super chats, they'll pop up straight away, and I'll read those as soon as they come in as well. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, tag @Chord Dave, and we'll get through them. So let's see. Mississippi Blues says, I'm in the UK, so a massive fan of the music. I'm a big fan of the music too, Mississippi Blues. Great to have you with us. Let me see. I just mean Rory Strat has maybe 5% of the paint remaining. They should just do the aged wood and don't bother trying to replicate the paint spot. I mean, to be honest with you, Ryan, I get where you're coming from. I don't think they will do that though. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. It would be great if they did it. Let me see what's going on. Marsha, it holds the string ends and attaches to a Bigsby, so it's easier to change strings. Interesting. Interesting. T says, Dave, your face is on the dartboard in the Gibson boardroom. I still think you'll get the signature SG. Keep the faith. The kids I know all have kids, so I have no idea either. Well, T, look, I don't know if they have a dartboard with my face on it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I've leaked so many things from them at this point that, yeah, I'm probably public enemy number one in and around there. I know for a fact that there are several other guitar channels that get similar information than I do, and not all of them put it out there. Or they'll put out one story every few months, maybe one a year, where they leak stuff. And yeah, they're chickens, and they know who they are, and they know what I'm talking about. So, but yes, they definitely. I'm not the only one who gets the info, so I'm just, I think, the most consistent with putting it out there. I think I was the only one genuinely with the Slash Epiphone news. I don't think anyone had it confirmed before I did. It was floating about in different places, but I had it confirmed by somebody who shall remain nameless. Rob says, I agree. I love bursts and LPs, but not SGs. Pete's SG at Leeds didn't have a burst. Exactly. That's a great live album. That is a great live album. The Who Live at Leeds. One of my favorites of all time. Marcia says, those Anderson's tour videos are super duper long. I haven't watched. I'm curious to see if it's different than all the other Gibson factory tours. It's collectively like 3 to 4 hours in total. That's it. If no one had ever done a Gibson factory tour, I would be interested in watching. I'd probably jump in straight away, but it's not that exciting for me. And I've seen it from lots of people in the past. Let me see. I'm a big fan of guitars with an onboard EFX synth. I mean, you never know. You never know. I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm sure we'll see him pop up on your channel at some point. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, great advice. Ready to promo, Dave. Cheers. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I hope it works out for you, man. Definitely let us know. I want to join you in your comment section when you do it. Ryan said, did Dave ever find the clip of Bonamassa mentioning him? No, I never saw it. I never saw it. It was Asian Redneck said that. I think it was Asian Redneck said that Bonamassa had mentioned me. And I'm so sad I missed it. But there you go. Poor Joe. I like Joe. I think he's cool. I think he's a great guitar player. I just said that the Lazaruses didn't look as good when they arrived with people as some of them didn't look so good. And I think that's true. But, you know, he didn't like that. Glenn says, Dave will get that signature Gibson SG, but Cesar will make them all black to get back at Dave. I think the only way I'm getting a Gibson signature guitar is if I buy Gibson myself. So I got a lot of things. I mean, how much would Gibson go for? Like 10 million? Obviously more than that. I don't know. But yeah, unless I personally get up enough money to buy Gibson, I don't think it's happening. But watch this space. Next month's YouTube's going to blow up. And then that's the goal. Buy Gibson. Rob says, question for everyone but Dave. Who else watches the live stream a second time to catch things you missed first time? I mean, I watch it usually on a Monday. But thanks for the second viewing. I appreciate that. Glenn says, I watched a rerun when I had to miss parts during the stream. How dare you miss parts? It's more impressive, in my opinion, that after 100 episodes, you still have the same basic format. It sometimes takes a lot of changes to find what works. See, that's the thing. I think this could be better. I think there's a lot of things that could work better. Like we're at the end of the stream and I'm so far behind in comments. But yeah, that's the thing. I'd like it to be better. I think a lot of production wise we can make changes that are better. Benny says Carlsberg's not even the best beer in Denmark at all. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't class it as a good beer anymore. Um, and I wouldn't be picking it up in the store at any time anymore. But I would like to go to Denmark and sample the better beers, like the higher level quality beers from there. I'd say they're great. Marsh says, yeah, whoever didn't hit the thumbs up is going to have to deal with my female wrath. That sounds terrible. The first Greenie custom shop was 50K with the special experience. Yeah, yeah. Al says, hey, sorry to disagree. Obviously, they sold out on the 50,000. Even the other expensive stuff. There are people who pay it, so who cares? Hey, first of all, don't ever apologize for disagreeing. That's absolutely fine. It's all just personal opinion, it's all good. But yeah, there's always going to be people who buys that stuff. I don't think it should be the main focus of the company. That's kind of what my opinion is, but you're totally cool to disagree. That's absolutely fine, and it makes for a better conversation. So if we were all here agreeing, it would be kind of boring and terrible. So I do appreciate you, sir. Rob S says, I don't understand why Gibson charges more for a guitar in Europe or other continents. Yeah, Cesar should tell us. He should come on and tell us. There are people who buy them, but it's not the people who will use them and play music instead of locking them in a closet or a collector's piece. Gibson is abandoning actual musicians. I mean, they still have guitars in the range for actual musicians. It doesn't seem to be their biggest focus right now. Or maybe it is, and it's just a skewed view because I don't have 50 grand in the bank. Who knows? Well, not to, I don't have 50 grand, or will never have 50 grand in I can buy one guitar with this. I think that's just nonsense. Scott says, Dave, can you get an upside down slash a slash top hat mug? It'd be cool, but just kidding. I mean, it would be very difficult to do, but who knows? Maybe in the future we get a good merch partner. All right, so we are coming up to the end of the show, guys. I'm just going to just check that I missed anybody new in the comments there, and that we have all of the things. Glenn says, thanks for another great stream, Dave. Here's to another 100 of tolerating us. I mean, yeah, I'm loving you guys, Glenn. I'm loving you guys. Oh, the 20,000 greenies don't have Brazilian, the 50Ks do. Well, there you go. That's worth 30 grand. Right? Let me see. Brazilian isn't illegal. Fender, PRS, boutique builders all use it. I don't believe they can sell it outside the US, however. I know Fenders are stamped USA only on the back of the headstock. Very interesting. Didn't know that. There's a pretty big difference between the 20K and 50K. Both are Murphy Lab, though. Put them side by side, and they're quite different. All right. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely happy to be proven wrong on it. Compare them to the real one, and the 20K vary quite a bit. That said, Gibson isn't the only one that charges that much for them. Shocker. You can buy PRS guitars with Brazilian for 6,000. Yeah, I mean, PRS makes some pretty expensive guitars. They never get shit for it. That's actually a very good point. What if you did Rolling Rocks instead of On the Rock? Instead of on rock. Well, it's actually just changing. They don't like the design being the same, so it's not the wording that's getting it kicked off every time. But I'll get around to it. I'll get around them. It'll be fine. It'll just take a while. Let's see, what else have we got? Somebody said something there. He answers a lot of questions, but I find he answers them in a very biased way towards selling his pickups. Oh, in terms of Dylan, yeah, I'm not going to comment on that, but I think it's quite clear. Buglups with the super chat. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. I said I wanted to try out this stupid chat. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. Super cool of you to do so. And yeah, hope you are doing well, sir. Yeah, that's nice. And says, let me see what else. I think you had a follow up to that. Rob says, I don't blame Dylan talking about his pickups. That's the original purpose of the channel. When somebody asks about stuff he doesn't make, he recommends other builders, which is fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna leave. Who said something there? Don't blame him talking about okay, that's all good. I better just skip that comment because I agree with it. All right, cool. Apparently, Harley Benton got into trouble over their first Brian May effort. It had to be the same. It had all the same switching. They had to redesign it with less switching. Yeah, that's true. And they had to radically alter their Les Pauls as well. They were bang on replicas early days, shape and wise and everything. But there you go. All right, so let me see, where did I get to? There we go. Dave is never going to make it this far, says Benny Larson, and I just proved you wrong, sir. But yeah, most of the time I'm not going to make it that far. James Grote says, just got the Blues Power Epiphone, and where the paint meets the binding is awful. You can feel the edge. Hey James, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, that is the issue I had with the Gold Glory and why I sent it back pretty much. It was the most... it was just the biggest problem I had with it. It was that the paint job was kind of rushed and not finished very well. So it's not news to me. That's what the Gold Glory had. So let me know what you end up doing with it. Actually, that'd be interesting if you send it back or what. But my feeling was that it was maybe just a rushed line that they did, because I know they were immensely popular, so it might have just been the case that they didn't sell, or they sold so many they had to make more and they rushed through making a batch. But if it's happening with the new ones, that's not really an excuse, because they've had them ready to go for a long time. Scott says, I watched a second time, very good. I often watch it again, says Buglips. Good stuff. Yeah, appreciate it, guys. That's all for good stuff. Marsha says, Dave totally missed me. Marsha, of course I missed you when you weren't here, absolutely. Sure. Thanks for everything, Dave. Everyone appreciates everything you do here. Congratulations on the first 100. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that, sir. Have a great week, and thank you so much for all you do on the show. Rob F says, yes, thank you very much, Dave. We appreciate you and what you do on our behalf. Thank you, Rob. That means a lot to me, man. Let me see. 1 in 10,000 of the way to a 50,000 guitar. I don't know. I don't know. Glenn says, Dave, so you union overtime wages through YouTube when you go over 2 hours. I mean, if I had a union, if there was a thing, if they could, that'd be it. I don't think they will let me. Buglip says, a granny flat for gear any flat. There you go. DMAX says, thanks, Dave, and congrats on 100. And Richard says that those are Friday afternoon guitars. That's very possible indeed. Richard, guys, thank you so much. It's been 100 shows now that we've turned up. We've talked for 2 hours about guitars. Some of them, of course, we've done an hour, but still it counts. It's an awesome thing to hang out with you guys. I love it. And you know, even at times when I'm like, I don't feel the energy to come and do a stream, and I do it, and you guys help me feel better, it's always a good time. So thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And listen, something I do want to be clear, sometimes I give my opinion, sometimes I regret giving my opinion, but that's all it ever is. It's just my opinion. We're all entitled to be to have different opinions and share them with each other, and we can all be grown-ups and be like, hey, that's cool, that's what you think. I think differently, but whatever. And that's why there are so many different guitar YouTube channels. Some of them are great, like the Guitaristas, and some of them are, you know, my channel. So thanks so much for sticking around with me, guys. It's 100 shows. I'm so happy that we do that. I will actually get back to making videos this week, so thanks for sticking with me through the down times and the good times. So my name is Chord Dave. I'll be back with another guitar related video very soon, but until then, take care.